ChatGPT passed an Apex evaluation in just 30 minutes with an 83% win rate. Now, in this video, I want to walk you through how this works, all of the trades, and then why I think this is a scalable, repeatable thing that's going to end up being the future of day trading. Now, here's exactly how this works. ChatGPT first reads my chart. Then every 2 minutes, I send the data to ChatGPT, it analyzes it, and then gives me a signal, long or short. And that signal will come with the confidence score. How confident is it that the AI thinks that this trade will go up or go down like it predicted? Now, here's what these trades look like. Every 2 minutes, I get one of these. A new trade pops up with the asset, so just in queue for now. Which direction, up or down? And then how confident is it that this trade is going to come true? The higher the confidence score, the more likely that trade is to come true, according to ChatGPT. And so it's pretty simple. You take the trades that have the highest confidence score, you ignore the ones that have the lowest confidence score. Now, following those rules, that's how we got these results. Again, 83% win rate, and we were able to pass this eval in just about 30 minutes. Our biggest trade being $1,000, our biggest loss being $336. So a really nice risk-reward ratio, really nice risk-reward ratio. Longest trade being a minute, and our average trade being 22 seconds. Now, the way this works is I get a signal every 2 minutes. So the AI actually analyzes a 2-minute chart. I trade off a 1-minute chart. The reason I do that is I want a little bit of a higher time frame context, but also I don't want to trade every new minute because I think we can lose perspective on what's going on. Now, I give ChatGPT a ton of data, and then it gives me back the score that it feels most represents what the market might do based on the data that it's got. And so I'm able to pick and choose my spots here. Now, there's a lot of data here. You can pause the screen and pause the video and look at it. Let's go through some of the orders and then some of the signals that came through so you can see exactly what was going on. Now, stick around to the end because I'm going to show you how this thing is going to get even better so we can make even more money. All right, now let's go through all of the trades so you can see what the trade was, what the signal was, and what the chart looked like to get a feel for how ChatGPT actually makes its signals. So trade number 1 was a very small win. It was at 1144. And our signal was right here. We had an NQ confidence score of 70. That's pretty good. We'll take that one and we'll hit it. So that trade occurred right here. Sorry, right here on this red candle. Kind of hard to see actually. And what ended up happening is price pulled back, price ran up, and I set my stop basically right above even, and it just ran and then hit it, and we got smoked out of the trade. Had we held and given it a little bit more room, we could have captured this bad boy, which would have been pretty sick. But we held it too tight and we made some nickels. We actually lost more on commissions than we did anything else. So trade number 1 was a kind of an L. It was a win, but commissions hurt us. Trade number 2 was a loss, and this one was on me as well. I basically didn't give price enough. So trade number 2 was a buy at 1146, and we ended up losing 2 points, 2.25 points. Now the signal was pretty good on this one. So 546. This is server time, so it's in a different region. So it's 6 hours ahead. That's how I have to calculate this. I'll get it fixed in the future. 72% confidence score. So let's go to the chart. And that was right here. Now this trade should have been a decent sized win, as that candle was from top to bottom like 12 points. So that should have been a win for us. And it ended up being a loss because, again, price was jumping a lot and we ended up seeing price run up really quick, moved our stop. But then price slipped back below it and we ended up losing. So not the best trade there. Now, we then get another buy signal right here, and that was at 1147. So we actually jumped back into the trade on the very next candle. We ended up making 6 points on this one. So let's go here. And again, same signal as before. I basically thought, I think I liked this spot here. So I went ahead and took it, and we ended up getting in right here. Price ran up for us. We got out, and then price shot down. So we ended up making a little bit of money there. So solid trade on that one. And then let's see here. Our stop got hit. Good. All right. Then we had a sell signal come in at 1150. So a lot of trades. We're talking, that's basically 3 trades in 6 minutes, starting with or including this one. So 1150. Let's go to our signals here. And we get this one right here. NQ going down with a 70% confidence score. So like pretty solid, which is right here. So we get this trade right here. Now I think I hugged this one a little bit too tight. I jumped into the trade and it ran decently. Where is that trade here? 1150. We ended up grabbing 7 points, 7.25 points on this one, so not bad. Again, I was a little bit tight on it, but a super solid trade. Now that candle itself was way bigger, and to tell you the truth, it was moving before I even got into the trade, so I was a little worried about it. But ended up being 27 points. We caught like a fourth of that. So it could have been a little bit better, but solid trade nonetheless. Let's move on. 50, let's see here. What is this one? This one was a win as well. So at 51, again, same signal as before. They come in every 2 minutes, so we wouldn't have gotten a new signal. Same type of trade. We just took it on this one. Now we hugged this one tight as well because price pulled up, and then it rolled back down for us. And had we held it just a little longer, we would have caught this and probably ended our entire eval right there. That'd have been sick, but we didn't catch that. So that was the next trade. Let's keep it rolling here. 52. All right. I don't know why it says chart, but we sold there. And this one we ended up making only 4 points on. That trade was says it was 2 seconds. I don't know if I believe that, but that's fine. So 2 second trade there. I think I ended up having like a weird fill in this one. But here's that trade. I don't know what exactly happened here. I think it was one of those where like price just moved really fast, hit my stop, and I just didn't give it enough space to run. But there's that trade. So to this point, we're profitable, but all our trades are really, really small. Some of that is on me as the trader. I got to give my trail a little bit more room, but this was technically my first day using this software. And so there's some learning lessons from growing pains in there. I could have captured way more profit than I did. I captured 7 points on this drop, and then I captured like 3 points right here, and I could have had 35 or somewhere in that region. So learning lessons there for me specifically. Now our next trade comes at 12:08, and it was a sell signal right here. So we had a short position on right there, and that was at 20,365, and we got blown out of this bad boy. Actually put us back down a little bit. So we ended up losing about 20 points on this one. Let me go show you the trade. So 12, or I'll show you the signal first, 12:08. Now that goes to 6:08 on my signal chart. So in Q, my confidence score was 65, which isn't good, which is the worst signal that I received, I think, from this thing all day, trading wise and confidence wise. Now, here's what happened. On the live stream, if you guys go watch that, what you'll hear me allude to is that I'm using a bare bones kind of skeleton approach to this first set. I went live. I just want to show you guys what was going on, but that wasn't the best version I had created. That was just the version that was done and I wanted to use. So all of my trades were coming in at 65, 75, 70, and the low confidence score trades were pretty good. And the high confidence score trades were really bad. It was really weird. And so I saw the 65 and I thought, let's just try it. They were working before, we'll try it again. I was feeding Chatgpt way less data before. Now I'm feeding it way more. And so the bad signals are actually bad trades you shouldn't take. But I didn't know that till after I lost 20 points. So let's go to that trade here. That was at 12:08 on our chart. And we signaled a short, and you can see how that one played out for us. Not great. So this is one where when we get a signal at 65, it's like, hey, maybe we should wait and just see what happens, because we get the next signal at 6:10 that was a 75, and that bad boy says we're going up. So bad trade there. We end up losing out pretty good, and we get a new signal at 12:10. And at this point, I decided to increase my risk. I felt like the ATR was at a reasonable spot where I'm like, we can just go ahead and crank this bad boy up. So we went from 8 contracts to 15 contracts. So, and I'm trading micros at this time, not minis. So maybe a point of confusion there too is I didn't switch to MNQ for the signals. I just kept it on NQ. Didn't think it was a big deal, and it really wasn't. But I'm trading MNQ, and so 15 contracts represents 1.5 full minis. So just keep that in mind. 15 micros is 1 full mini and a half. Sorry. Anyway, so we get to the 12:10 signal, and that's a buy, which is good. We ended up making 16 points on this one. So from 17 to 33. And at this point, I'm feeling pretty good. So we've got a 75% confidence score, which again, just like I mentioned before, in the morning, I was getting signals where a 75% confidence score would be a trade that would reverse right on me and I'd lose. Now I've got a 65% confidence score that was bad and a 75% one that was good. And I'm like, sick. So now I've got this thing cranking the way I need it to. These are for the updates. 610 on my chart is right here. And so price just erupts. Hello. Um, Price just erupts kind of, I don't know why it's not showing, but price just takes off. So we get our 16 points, super solid trade. We sized up and it worked out for us. Let's keep going here. And then we had 611 as well. I took this trade again. We ended up making 7 points on this one, 6.75 points on this one. Same idea that I wanted to continue with price rolling up. So pull back, we jumped in, price rolled up. It was great. Had I held this a little bit longer, I probably could have captured that candle as well. That would have been really, really nice. Let's keep going here. Our next trade was at 12, okay? And that was a buy. And on this one, we ended up making 5 points. So 12 here shows up as a 78% confidence score, which to this point was the highest that I had seen. The highest score given, I think, was 80 something. Let me show you that. It was over here, 85 was the highest. I didn't trade that. I was not around for that one, but 78% was pretty good. So let's go to the chart, 12, which is right here. Sorry, right here. Boom, price takes off. We capture that, and we didn't get a ton of it, even though that candle's sizable. Boom, boom. That candle ended up being 33 points. That's crazy. We only captured like a fraction of that. We ended up capturing 5. So again, my trail was really tight. The reason for that is it's my first day using it full. So I didn't know what to expect. 1, 2, price, and I traded all this on Trade So signal comes in from TradingView, but I trade on Trade because the data updates way faster. Price was really jumpy. And what I didn't want to do is have a winning trade turn into a losing trade. That isn't the way I want to do it. And so if it's a small profit, it's a small profit. So that was that trade. Then we have 12-14. We still have another buy, but on this one, we ended up making like less than a point. We ended up making 1.5 points. So 12-14, that signal comes through, and it's actually pretty good. So 76% confidence score, pretty nice. And it was right here. So this one, we had a chance to make a little bit more money, but price was getting a little choppy, and I just wasn't sure what I wanted to see just yet. And so we ended up taking this trade, made a little bit of money. I think we ended up probably lost more money on the contracts than we did making money, but we did what we had to do. It was a winning trade. I think we ended up losing money on the contracts overall, which was fine. Then our final trade was at 12-16, and it was a sell signal, and this is the biggest one of the day. So our prediction, okay, Chatgpt says, hey, we're going to go short, and at this point, which is right here, I had seen this red candle, and so I thought, like maybe we could get a short here and we could have price move. And it did. So price pulls back and we jumped in. So we jumped in at 20,472, which is right here. 20,472. We waited for the pullback. We really nailed this one. And then we ended up exiting at 20,436. So let's go and mark that. 436, which is down here, somewhere in there. Now, I could have let this run a little bit longer, not too much longer, but a little bit longer. But I'd passed the eval already, and it would have just been really silly had I passed the eval, but then not taken profit. Like that'd be crazy. But I could have held this a little bit longer, trailed it a little bit tighter, and gotten this one, and then maybe even gotten some of that third one down there, this red candle right here. So the deep predictive Chatgpt signal was really good. And then the next one came through at 75% as well. That one worked out as well. But by that time, I was done. We had passed our eval, and we were off and cooking. So we cranked up our contracts at 12.10. And at this point, we were basically right above break even. We were up a little bit, I think. And it was like, all right. And then 6 minutes later, we were up $1,800 or $1,700, whatever it was, to pass. We only need to make 1,500. So really, really solid trading. But that's what this is going to be. So we're going to get signals every 2 minutes. When right now futures are closed, but when that starts, it'll be every 2 minutes we will get new signals. Now, here's how AI, specifically like these signals, are going to get better. I'll talk to you about that. Now, I think you and I both agree that AI is the future. I just believe that AI is going to be the future for day trading, and there are two massive reasons why. The second one being more important than the first, but the first being that these models continue to get better. Okay, I'm using Chatgpt right now, and they're at the top. They're above everybody. You can argue different reasonings for different models, but they're at the top. You got Grok is right there, Perplexity, Google's Gemini. You've got DeepSeek that just rolled out. You got Meta's model as well, and then a bunch of open source ones that you can find on the internet and other places. These models continue to get better. Like systematically, they get improved, they get sharper, they get quicker, they parse through data much faster. They get better. So as these models get better, these signals would get better. If Grok or you've got Google's Gemini makes the leap above ChatGPT, then I will shift from that model, GPT, to whatever the new one is. Like, we're not necessarily tied to one specifically. That's point number one. Point number two is the root of what artificial intelligence actually is. I believe you can fit AI into one of three categories. You've got basically like the data compression, which is what these LLMs are. They're able to crawl a bunch of data, compress it, and then find the answers you're looking for very quick. Your typical queries using ChatGPT, ask a question, it'll give you a response. That's like fit number one. Fit number two is autonomy. So like Tesla has self-driving, Waymo is an example of that, where these AI models and GPT rolled out operator, they can do things on your behalf on a command as they see fit. So you tell it what to do, it will do it. That's the autonomy part. Now, artificial intelligence, I believe, it began and it got rebranded, but the most important part, which is why these signals are going to get much better, is the machine learning part. That's the third category, I believe, is that you've got all this data, and then the AI should train itself on that data and improve. You could fit autonomy and machine learning together, but for this conversation, I want to separate them, which is I've got all of these trades. I'm going to get 700 trades a day times however many assets I decide to have trades on. That information is going to get stored into a database. After a week, 2 weeks, I'm going to shift from ChatGPT, which is just an LLM, to a machine learning model that will take all of this data that I've got, okay, go through it, and then start to accurately parse out the really good from the really bad. And so what'll end up happening is we're going to get trades that are signaled that are very high quality or very poor quality because the model has determined, the new model, whichever one we end up choosing, will have basically learned from the previous data, and then basically apply that to the new signals that come through. So it's really important to collect all of this data, to collect all of these trades, to mark all these trades as good or bad, correct or incorrect, so that the machine can learn in the future. So we will apply machine learning to these signals, and that's what's going to take it over the edge, I believe. So we've got the models that will improve themselves, which is great because all of these other LLMs can be built on top of them, but we'll be able to learn from the data that we collect. And that data, that the learning that we get will allow us to make better trades with more confidence. So really, really exciting stuff. If you guys go watch the live stream, you can like tell the difference between the trades that were taken there and the signals versus the ones I'm showing you here. All I did was give it more data to look at to make a decision, and it was money. Right? We made $1,800 in like 30 minutes, and most of that came in like 7 minutes of trading. Okay, so it was really cool. Very excited about this. I think this is going to be the future for trading. I'll certainly, this will be what we'll all use coming soon. Not available yet. It will be soon, but not available yet. We'll have these signals going, and we'll do it for more than just NQ, and maybe we'll even do it more than just a 2-minute chart. So a lot of cool stuff coming. Stick around, subscribe, like the video if you can. If you have questions, let me know. Shoot me an email, shoot me a DM on Instagram. Happy to chit chat with you guys. But really, really solid stuff. Great way to start. This is day 1 with AI giving us signals. I can't imagine what day 10 or 100 will look like. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.